It's time for a Heroes of the Storm podcast for the rest of us. This is Dirty Casual.
Welcome to Dirty Casual, the Heroes of the Storm podcast for the rest of us. I'm Bearcat, and this is my co-host,
Argyle.
And Big Oakley.
Hey, and welcome to episode 9. We are so close to episode 10, you guys.
Has it been 9 already?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yes, this is
right?
episode 9. So, we got some cool surprises and a lot to talk about today. So,
So much is happening.
yeah, let's go ahead and just dive right in. First thing to talk about, I think, is our free play yesterday.
Which
That was a lot of fun.
It was amazing this time. We had a great show of games this week.
We really did. I thought that we played really well. We had, again, a really nice set of heroes to play with.
We won
And
every game.
We did win
We did.
every
didn't edit
game.
anything out.
3-0. 3-0. It was beautiful.
100% win rate. Undefeated.
Even undefeated, yeah. After our last show, I think that was we needed that.
We definitely did. We deserved that set of games.
It was nice.
Did you guys notice anything about those games? Did you guys? It seems like we really stuck with similar heroes at least through 2 of the games.
I picked the Aura consistently through all
Mhm.
3 just because I wanted to mess around with that new skin so bad.
Right.
That's fair. I went with Raynor because he was free and I like Raynor. And honestly, I didn't feel a whole lot of difference with him. He might be a little bit squishier, but I couldn't tell, honestly. I took Seasoned Marksman even and had a lot of fun with that.
Yeah. I believe I had a Kerrigan, Gazlo, and Morales game.
Yep.
In reverse order, I think is so. If you guys want to see that, the VOD is available on twitch.tv/Dirty Casual Show. It'll be available, it's available right now, so you can go and watch it. You'll have to fast forward through the beginning of it. I believe that the game started about 30 minutes. So
We spent a lot of time waiting for a friend that never
yes,
showed up. And we're shaming him publicly.
we're shaming him publicly.
This looks like a good call-out post.
This is this is the first time this has actually happened to us, so we're going to get a little bit better about being organized and starting on time. So just to round this out, let's go ahead and say what the heroes are this week. We have Gazlo, Kerrigan, Leoric, Mirrodin, Raynor, Uther, Sonya, Sylvanas, Morales, and Illidan.
Oh yeah, I also screwed around with Illidan some. Those games weren't as good.
No, but
We still won. You beat up Lenara.
I did. Lunara cannot get away from Illidan. It's impossible.
Yeah, he is very sticky, and that is kind of his one thing that's good about him. So we had a really great time, and you can go ahead and check out that VOD.
Yeah, do it.
The other
That's
thing, that's actually I really love that we're actually recording on Wednesdays because we feel like we get a ton of news to talk about on Wednesday, including today. We went ahead and got a patch today.
Yeah.
Is that
I
2
know,
weeks in a row?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
And I wasn't expecting it just because we just got news of the PTR yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was expecting that to take another week at least before we said another balance adjustment, but no, they gave us another small something. Make us happy.
Yeah, I really think that they're really taking it to heart, the whole, more often balance. I don't know if we're going to expect this every week, but it seems very...
We might be seeing like 1 hero adjustments weekly. I think that's something you could expect. I don't think you'll see, what do we have, like 6 heroes this week that got adjusted?
I have notes for 4 heroes.
Yeah. So
I think
don't-
there is a couple more, but I mean, yes, it's about
Yeah,
right.
you might see like 1 tuning on a hero possibly on a Wednesday.
And they're very minor. We have one
With the
that's kind of
exception
big.
of one.
Yeah, one's actually kind of big. It sounds minor, but it's kind of big. So let's go ahead and talk about balance changes.
All right. Who do you want to start with?
Most of the changes this week for balance they're all ultimate changes. Most of them. There's a little bit, a couple Greymane changes. You guys can go ahead and check out the balance notes. I'll go ahead and link them in the description. But we're just going to go over heroic changes because the Greymane ones are more or less, just some tweaks and tunings to the brand new character.
Didn't you get some increased health and regen?
Yes, he did. He got some increased health and regen and
A little bit of cooldown reduction.
on Dark Flight and Disengage.
Yeah, they're down to 5 seconds.
Mm-hmm. And it looks like some small buffs. It looks like they're tuning him up a little bit.
Yeah.
Something similar to like what Morales got shortly after release. And
Yes,
then
even or
Artanis,
Lunara.
And Lenara.
Yeah,
too,
they're just some minor buffs. I think that they were warranted for him.
Yeah.
So
I think so.
have fun playing him this week. Let's talk about the first buff I want to talk about, which is Falstad. Falstad's Hinterland's Blast got a small damage buff and a sizable cooldown increase. The cooldown was increased by 30 seconds, so now instead of 90 seconds, we're up to 120. and it's a relatively small buff on damage. In fact, it's actually just a scaling change because the damage is being increased from 411 plus 4% per level now is 411 to 4.75% per level.
Yeah,
So we're looking at 0.75% per level difference in change. I mean, what this seems really like almost like a nerf to something that didn't need to get nerfed. In fact, it wasn't even that good to begin
Yeah,
with.
that's really strange. I mean, like, I don't know. Now it's like as long as the cooldown as Mosh Pit at 2 minutes.
Yeah,
I
that
can't think
seems
of many.
crazy.
I can't think of many other ultimates that are that long, and that one's just a pure new. I don't know. It's very strange. It's not like we're seeing Falstads every game, destroying everyone with Hinterland's Blast, or
Well, I think
or
they're-
using it like multiple times for combat or something. That one seems like a very, very bizarre change that I think a lot of people are scratching their heads at.
I think this is I think they tried to buff it. I actually think that's what they were trying to do because it sounds like a buff, sort of. You know, they increased the damage, and then they made their cooldown longer. Their justification for this is to essentially make heroics more impactful.
Make them feel
And-
more heroic.
Right, right. I think the biggest problem with Falstad is that it's one of the biggest. It's like one of the easiest telegraphed ults in the game. He's gonna kind of go to the back and make sure you guys are all lined up, and then you have a good, half a second to kind of scatter when you see that happen. And I just don't think it's going to be that big of a change. I don't think people are going to take this any more than they did. In fact, I think the huge cooldown on it is actually going to,
Yeah.
hurt it.
Compared to Gus that has a 40-second cooldown.
I think it's 40. Yeah, why didn't they nerf that? 40 seconds. You can use Gust all the time.
Doesn't
Like,
do damage.
No, it doesn't do damage, but it is so impactful. It
yeah,
is
it's
so
crazy.
incredible
It's
impactful.
really
Doesn't
good.
do damage. I
So
don't care.
my thought on
Yeah.
my thought on the Hinterland Blast right now. They took Gathering Power away from him, and they took Overdrive away from him a while back, of course. But those two talents used to be paired together to give kind of a mage build, which is where a lot of Hinterland Blast got its bang from. They might be trying to take it up at least, I don't know, to some percentage of that damage. Try to get it so that it's more in line with what it used to be, since those were basically required talents for that build. I don't know how close it's going to get. I don't think it's going to be anywhere near close enough, considering 15% damage and then Overdrive adds however much on top of that. So it's still going to come pretty short. I still don't think it's going to be a big deal.
I'm giving this change a big old fat thumbs down. I think this is a really bad one, frankly. I think they're going to change it back, or they'll buff it by a lot more damage. I
Yeah.
don't think that this is enough. So
Yeah,
Maybe
they'll be-
we're underestimating. I mean, it's hard to look at those numbers and be like, oh man, because sometimes it's surprising. And
I
it
guess that's true.
catches you off guard, and maybe it'll be like one of those things where it's like, oh shit, if you don't dodge it, you're dead. Like, like.
Yeah, and I mean, considering it starts at 411, before it was getting 4%?
that's correct.
Is 16 points of damage per level. So it's getting not quite like 16 and I don't know, another
Now
4.
it's 17. I mean, I don't really know the difference.
Yeah, I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
well, it's one of those things we'll have to see in practice.
Yeah, we'll
but
see.
It's one of those things
Just
I haven't-
at a glance, though, it's a stinker.
All right.
Yeah.
The next talent that they buffed, the next heroic that they buffed is for Sergeant Hammer. They buffed the BFG. All they did for it is they increased the damage significantly, and then they lowered the scaling a little bit. I think this will make it more impactful at level 10, essentially,
Yeah.
because now it should do more damage then.
I wonder if it'll actually wear down a core if you take the 20 upgrade.
I don't know, maybe the constantly circulating one. I think that this will hurt a lot more especially at level 10. I think it's gonna be way more impactful at level 10. I don't know if it's still good enough to take. Napalm has such a short cooldown, and it does a lot of damage. And
And it zones. It zones really well.
yeah, it does a lot of damage. You gotta get out of that. It hurts.
Any map that Hammer's already good on is increased by Napalm.
Yeah.
Like,
Truth.
I can't think of a scenario where it's just not the choice.
So I mean, again, I think that's kind of a okay, thanks.
Right, yeah,
I'll give
cool,
it a
yeah.
middle. I'm still gonna take Napalm though. Thanks.
Right, yeah.
You tried.
You
I'll
tried,
give him like
right,
the little
right.
you tried sticker on Blizzard's head.
Green ribbons.
Thank
Green ribbons
you.
for everybody. Participation.
I like this next one. I think that it's actually kind of reasonable and needed. And Arthas got a buff. Cinder Ghost, I should say, got a buff. The damage was increased, and it was increased slightly, and the cooldown was increased slightly. Again, I think that this is going to make it more impactful. Syndragos is already actually a really good ultimate.
I like it a lot.
Yeah, it's really good.
The fact that it disables towers, I
Mm-hmm.
think, and keeps is what makes it really awesome for a moment when you're scrimming in front of a keep, trying to take it down before an objective or something like that. Again, I just think this is very powerful, and that makes it even better.
Was that as brutal of a cooldown nerf as?
No, we're looking at a 20-second
Okay,
increase,
that's
so it's from 80 to 100 seconds.
Cool.
I think that's totally reasonable
Yeah,
for something,
that's totally
especially like I
fine.
said, if you're talking about pushing down a lane, you're not going to do that every 30 seconds or 80, even 80
Right.
seconds.
No, the biggest use you find for it a lot of the time is that you corner an enemy team near their towers, and now they can't fight safely under their towers.
Grants a decent amount of vision too.
Yeah.
So now we're talking about paving the way from a tribute or something like that. Like you can use it as it's a great engage because it just slows everybody down. It really keeps them all together, and then
I think it's undervalued by a lot of people. It's got a lot of strength.
I love
to
it. I picked that.
I pick it on every single time almost. I think it's just fun too. I mean, something about
Yeah.
a giant
It is,
dragon.
yeah,
Like,
yeah, I love that shit, yeah.
Yeah.
It really comes down to whether or not I'm the only tank as an Arthas. If I'm the only one, I kind of have to try to stay alive a little bit.
Right.
So
Let's see here. And then the last major change I want to talk about, let's see here, you guys can check it out, but ETC got a small change to save dive. I don't really care.
Still not gonna get picked,
Still
yeah.
not that good. Same with Johanna, Falling Sword got a little buff, but not really.
it's
And
definitely an improvement to Falling Sword.
but why would you take that over throwing that shield and stunning people?
Because it looks cooler.
The only thing, yeah, it does look cooler. But the big one I think we're going to spend a little bit more time on is this Muradin change.
It's
So-
a big
Huge.
one.
This
This
is
is a
big.
really big.
This is huge, and I think this is what makes Muradin one of the top tanks, almost 100% picked in every single
Everything.
every competition that we see. Avatar is the basic attacks on Avatar would give a micro stun essentially.
Like a quarter of a second or something. I don't know what the actual number is, but it's enough to make you stop moving.
It essentially what it does is it stops you from channeling anything.
Mhm.
Right.
I mean that's really what it's used for. It's really good. It used to be very good against Morales, for instance. This was like almost a hardcore rock paper scissors style, just
And he
counter.
was the Rock.
He was literally the Rock, and she was just scissors, just sitting there like getting squashed. He was just like a whack-a-mole man, just going through, or like Nazebo, just cancel his ult, like just forget that.
Right,
I'm
yeah.
talking about the Ravenous Spirit, which is I think the better ult for him. It's one of those things where he can just outright counter a whole bunch. I mean, we're talking about Lily. Almost
Yeah.
anybody doing a
He's
ton of
he's
ults.
just a hard counter to a lot of heroes. He cancels Chen
You know a hero hates getting stunned? All of them.
All of them, yeah, every
Like,
single
that's
hero.
a very good. Like it was just
and
so
it's
good
on
against everybody.
yeah, and it's on basic attack, so it's basically you can do it all the time, and it's
Right.
and Avatar lasts a long time. That's the other
Yes,
thing.
yeah.
Yeah, and it may just be a micro stun, but it's enough to put you out of position and die if the
Of
team
course,
follows
yeah.
up.
It's enough
Like, that's all
to
it
chase
takes.
somebody down or keep them sunlocked
Right.
or set something else. You know, it had a lot of possibility for something very basic.
So that's now gone.
Yes.
We don't have that anymore. Basically what it is, so they buffed his health increase that he gets for it.
Yep.
So now all it really does is give him a massive health pool.
Right.
That's all it does. So he's just a big fat dwarf with a ton of health. I think this is a kind of a neuter for him. I mean, I still
Absolutely.
think he's good, but it is pretty much a neuter. I don't know if he's going to be as big in the scene as much anymore, just because I think he was picked and that took a lot of characters out of the meta. You know, it makes it hard for like Morales, for instance. Like unless you have him, you wouldn't take Morales. And now that he doesn't do that, maybe that might open up to again. We might see some more of these ultimates come out, more characters come out. You know, maybe we'll see a Nazebo now and then because that ult will wreck face.
It hurts if you catch somebody out with it.
The only thing I can think of with Muradin is it might force more people to take. There's a talent he gets where every third attack basically does a mini stun like that.
Yeah.
So it might just put people
But what
in
does
a
he
position.
give up, right? Like
Exactly. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It might be like on like the tier of Relentless or something like that. So I mean, they're pretty competitive.
right. It's
Yeah.
either
Tier
that
for a
or
tank,
yeah.
I don't remember what's on that tier at all, but it
It's
seems
not
like
usually take, I guess, because of Avatar. It's like, why? You're just going to take Avatar later
Right.
anyway.
right. It's
And
like-
at that point, I will probably see. I'm gonna guess we're gonna see Johanna picked a whole lot more because now Johanna just does that, but better.
Right, with the
At this
AoE.
point. Yeah, at
Yes,
this point,
with
yeah.
her condemn.
Mhm.
Right. So I think that this can be frustrating or for Meridian players. I think that Morales will sing a little tune and do a little dance of glee, you know. This will increase his survivability. I'm not sure how good this is for him overall, but we'll see what happens. So those are the major changes for this balance patch. I really hope we see more of these. I think
That's nice.
they're healthy for the
It
game.
absolutely is.
Yes, very healthy. And a lot of them I noticed did listen to things that are said like on the Reddit and the forums and whatnot. So it's kind of cool to feel like you're being listened to. So good job, Blizzard.
Well, Blizzard is on the Reddit forums all the time, commenting and keeping an eye on what's going on. So
Yep.
they definitely have a thumb on the pulse.
Right. So the big surprise, at least for me, was they put up the PTR today.
Yep.
Which was
Yesterday.
awesome.
It was great. And then there's a ton of stuff on the PTR. Now this is a huge list. So I think we're just going to go ahead and pick our favorites and I think some of the biggest changes that were
Yes.
made.
There are some big highlights in here for sure.
Yes,
A couple
there
of
is.
heroes, got some big reworks.
So the first thing I want to talk about really quick is just the Lunar Festivals coming, you know, on some maps. And you have start a game, there'll be a little man you can click, and I guess we'll learn more about him later, which leads me to believe that we will get the Lunar Festival probably next week. And because I think that the new character is probably gonna come the week after, so they'll probably give you 1 week to let your wallets recover,
Right,
so you
yeah,
can get
exactly.
her.
Everyone's going to be throwing money at that Illidan skin.
Yeah, the money's gonna be flying out of everyone's pockets.
Oh man.
That actually is one little tiny thing I do want to mention as an honorable mention on this PTR is I did finally redo the metamorphoses on several of his skins.
Yeah, I can't wait to see it. I haven't seen the pictures of him yet.
Oh, that's very cool. You should
Yeah,
check them out.
I bet they're really
They
cool.
actually did a really good job, and that was the one thing that really bugged me about some of his skins because I don't know, it's such especially at level 20 if you take the talent where you say it is
You
all the
always see
time.
him as
What's the
the-
point of even
yeah.
having a skin on? Like if it just is the same. So I that's great.
I didn't even know they reworked that.
Yeah, they did.
Cool.
So that's
Very cool.
The big one everyone's talking about is that ping spam reduction. No, I'm kidding. Actually, that is kind of a big thing, but
No, it actually
It's
is.
nerf to muted
it's a
players.
nerf. It's a muted players.
No, it
Yeah.
actually is kind of significant. Like you can only ping like 6 or 7 times in a couple of seconds before you're silenced. Like I kept getting like just trying to gather up my team on AI games on the PTR. It's like nope, can't do that anymore.
Yeah, that was actually kind of hard to do. I also was on the PTR trying to play an AI game, and I was just trying to round them up just so we could go do something, and
I
they
did the-
didn't want to listen.
I tried to get the 5th one. It's like you have to wait. You have pinged too many times.
Yeah, so Asmodan's just dicking off
doesn't
in
care,
top
yeah.
lane.
He's
Yeah,
harping.
No, he's
just
not-
like a real Asmodan.
Except way less good at it.
But the next thing, what do you guys want to open with? Who do you want to talk about?
Well, let's talk about the new character.
Let's talk about the
No,
character.
fuck the new character.
Yeah, I think we should
Chen's
talk about
Q.
Chen is cute. Oh, let's hear about it. What
It got-
happened
it
to
got
Chen?
fixed.
It's fixed.
So they say. we'll see how long it lasts this time.
That's
Chen's
the
flying
rumor.
Kick.
But they hit it.
Yeah.
They don't. Chen's not listed there.
Oh, it's unlisted change.
It
It's on the
is.
secret menu.
It is.
It is.
You have
It's
to-
like clear at the bottom in the generic heroes and fixes section.
Oh.
No, it's not even there. It's like in the legal stuff. Like you have to.
It's
like
in
at the
the
very
fine print.
bottom. Yeah, exactly.
You actually have to submit a ticket to Blizzard and ask them a question.
Right, you have to. Like
You have to know
for
a
people that
password.
went to BlizzCon got a decoder ring.
Yeah.
And in
Oh,
the
that's what that was.
background
That's
image,
right.
there's all these different runes. And if you no, it's just like I didn't even know about it until you guys told me about it, and I was like, what? You was not listed there.
They listened to us.
They listened to me.
Yeah, that's true.
They've been listening to our podcast
They're like
specifically.
Argyle. We fixed Chen.
We fixed it. Now stop podcasting.
Yeah, I'm done. So this is my retirement from Dirty
We made it,
Casual.
guys.
Goodbye.
We did it.
We influence.
Argyle
We're
signing
out.
off.
Yeah.
All right, so we got a new character.
Let's talk a little bit about the characters we already have, and I want to save Li Ming for last.
Okay.
So let's actually talk about.
Well, you just gave it away.
Well, everyone now we talked about leaving last week, but everyone knows who it is. But I think honestly, the biggest surprise, even though we knew this was happening, I didn't think to see it this fast, and I also was still surprised to see how much it was Nova.
I have never seen talent removed so many times on one hero.
You almost expected to say like Nova removed at the end of it.
Yeah, because within like the first 6 lines are talent removed, talent removed.
To be fair,
talent
the
removed.
Nova as we know it has been removed from the game.
Oh yeah, she's dead. That
Mhm.
Nova is gone.
Yeah, Nova's
The level 7 bursting a hero from 100% to dead will not exist ever again. That hero is gone.
Unless they somehow take that Snipe Master talent and just own them,
Go
right?
bonkers.
Yeah,
Well,
go bonkers.
even still, you're not going to be able to do that if you can get all the stacks before level 10. Like, I like the Snipe Master talent. I like the idea behind it.
So wait, let's just back up just 1 second here. She got a complete rework, right?
yeah.
I mean, there's almost no talents that are the same. I don't know if there are any that are actually the same.
Stuff got shuffled
The stuff-
around.
stuff-
She got,
got
yeah,
shuffled.
some got shuffled around. She has a decoy talent tier now, which I know people are really excited about. People are not happy about this.
I don't know why Blizzard is going to this single ability level 4 tier. Lunara has it on her Wisp. Now Nova has it on her decoys.
Right. It's
Like-
it's kind of strange, but they removed a lot of. The only things I think she even still has left are like anti-armor shells and one in the chamber, which still compete. And they also do compete with the Snipe Master talent. This is the closest thing to gather. They removed Gathering Power from her as well.
It's gone.
Mhm.
Let's see. They removed double fake, crippling shot, and lethal decoy now compete. They're on the same tier at level 16. Bolt is gone, and they changed her other level 20 talent. So there's a lot that's just been completely changed for her. She's not nearly as bursty. I'm on the PTR. I was able to take some squishy heroes down for about half health with the new pinning shot build. There's a lot of talents that buff her pinning shot.
Yes, that
You-
does seem to be one of the the builds they were kind of going for. The one positive I can definitely say about her is that the way they reworked her talents, it definitely is in line with the newer characters that we've gotten, where it seems like there are builds that are obvious almost. Like it's much easier to pick out a build. There are less trap talents
Absolutely.
and less generic talents too, which is actually also nice. Which I know
Yeah.
that Blizzard's trying. I think Blizzard is trying to phase these out. These kind of boring, frankly, talents.
Oh, they're totally boring.
Yeah.
Yeah, they definitely are. And I don't think she has any generic talents at this point. They're all
Well, one in the chamber is technically a generic talent because it's just follow through.
right. Okay.
And yeah. Mhm.
So that's the only one that she's got, I think. But she's got the definite pinning shot build. So pinning shot, you have the increased slow. You have increases your next basic attack range. You have one in the chamber to go with it so that you can hit them harder with it. You still get the invulnerability. I can now have 2 charges. So you can keep them slow longer. You can keep them vulnerable longer
You
while
can slow
you're
them for
following
more
up.
too.
Yeah.
That's one of the. I think it's called covert ops. I believe. is
I
one
think
of
it's
the-
level 1.
It's a level 1 talent,
Yeah.
and basically, the longer that Nova keeps stealth, the more impactful her pinning shot becomes.
That
All
can-
the way up to, I believe, 50 or 60%.
50%.
50.
But that competes with the pinning shot increases the range of your next auto attack by 30%.
It also competes with the stealth. Basically, makes you move at 30% speed,
Right.
which is incredibly good as well. I mean, she doesn't really have to mount. I mean, essentially.
And a mana regen talent.
She runs faster than Lunara stealth. That's messed up. What? That is messed up. Like, I mean, really, think about that. And she can stealth, she can run faster than Lunara, and she can still mount. Poor Lunara. She's got to be like, what the fuck?
No,
When am
you-
I chopped venison?
You want to talk about movement speed and being unfair. You pair that talent with her new level 20 talent, which is activated stealth for 2 seconds, where attacking, taking damage does not break it. So
Oh.
now Nova gets a 2-second burst where she can chase you down, blow you up, and you still may not know where she's coming from.
So I think, again, she's almost like a new character.
It's
Absolutely.
nice. I like it a lot because to put it in Hearthstone terms, the soul of the card is still the soul of the character is still there.
Absolutely.
But she definitely kind of got worse on Commander.
I don't think so.
No.
Actually, it's interesting to see what it's just an entirely different direction for the character, which I think is needed because it's not fun just to be somewhere and then you're dead. Like, it's not interactive.
It's not,
and
yes.
it's not something you can counter because there's very little you can do. Like, you don't get sentry wards or anything like that.
Not
to
every
protect
hero
your
has a way
business.
to hit a character
Not,
they can't
exactly.
see.
Not every character has a way
Like
to fight.
Lily can't. Like Lily can be like, she's here, somebody.
Right, yeah, you can't blinding wind her or
Yeah.
anything
No,
you
like
can't
that.
do anything.
It's not just fun just to be walking around and you're dead.
Right. It's only fun for Nova.
It's fun
Right.
to play.
Yeah, it's really fun to play. It's a lot like, again, to put it kind of in Hearthstone terms, like Patron Warrior. It's fun.
Right.
And the only thing that I want to rebut that a little bit is that for example, when you play against Patron Warrior, you only see when they, or actually maybe even Miracle Rogues, maybe a better way to put this. You only see when somebody pulls their combo, and that feels like, oh my god, it's not interactive, it didn't happen. But you don't see the times that they didn't. And so if a Nova doesn't get out of the way, or a Nova, it basically comes down to, I guess, skill of Nova. How good is a Nova good at staying away? Because if they do get caught out, I mean, she does get blown up. I think this is interesting. We'll see how it works. Honestly, she's like a new Nova.
It's
Brand new
absolutely
Nova.
new. And I definitely want to play with the pinning shot build. I want to try a snipe
Yeah.
build
I
to see
like
how
the-
viable that is on against players. Because it's a pain in the ass against AI, but they're dumb.
I like the idea of the pinning shot build a lot.
Yeah.
As being almost like okay, my favorite character in Dota, Bounty Hunter, is very similar. He's a stealth character who is all about that surprise hit, right? Very similar in that vein. Eventually, though, he stopped getting played as like a damage dealer and more of a damage/support role.
Right. This gives her utility.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And utility she didn't really have before. So I think she'll be really good at not only dealing damage, like she still seemed to do a fair amount of damage, but she wasn't obliterating somebody in a couple hits, if she got off her combo. But now it allows her to do damage, but also set up stuff for the rest of her team to do things.
She can actually contribute to a team fight. If she
It's
gets into it.
interesting. And
Unless she takes Snipe Master. And here's one of those things that I am genuinely really iffy about. I think that this Snipe Master Nova is going to become the new Abathur pitching in the base. The Abathur that has to and yells about what noobs everyone is.
right, yeah.
Well, he is not split pushing or body soaking. Oh, that guy. I do think that this Nova is going to be this because she's not going to want to, for example, say she got 10 stacks of it, so she has 50% extra damage on her snipe. That's a huge amount of snipe. I understand that. And it's not broken by dying, but if she misses, including if she hits a Baneling, if she hits a tower or fort, if she hits an immortal, if she hits anything, she loses those stacks.
And it's really frustrating, especially at least playing against AI on the PTR. It's incredibly frustrating because the AI tends to stay inside of creeps.
That's the way you would totally counter that.
That is how you counter it. But in my experience, players don't hang around in creeps like that. Like
Bad ones.
they go in and out of creeps all the time. You just position yourself to hit them. I think that the snipe build has potential, but it's going to come down like it has to be tested. I think that it could be good.
The thing that bothers me about this is that it encourages very, very, very selfish Nova play. Because now we have, let's say you're talking about an immortal, right? And there comes times when you're racing against the other team to finish your immortal first. Because maybe it's just not feasible to get over there and kill them in time, but your immortal's low, so let's try to kill it. And your Nova is just going to be standing there and not helping you with some burst damage, lest that she lose all of her stacks. That bothers me. Before, that would not happen. She could help you by using some of that mana, to do that. You're going to have, I think this is going to be a big problem, especially for maps like that. And people they're going to play Nova. This is now the closest to what she used to be, is kind of this build. I think people are going to play this, and it's going to hurt a team more than it will help.
I do think that you're going to see some people that play that way. You'll definitely see people that play that way. But the stacks can be rebuilt easily against actual players, I believe. So I don't think it'll be that big of a sacrifice for Nova to help with an immortal.
Yeah.
She'll be able to get her stacks back.
There's just
for a
something.
reasonable player.
Yeah.
But the one that you're pointing out is the unreasonable player, which you see
right.
in quick match.
Not only that, but let's talk about quick match. What if you have a Diablo on your team? What if you're lining up a shot and a Diablo shadow charges your opponent? How toxic is that going to be? Do you realize how angry somebody's going to be if somebody shadow charges your opponent while you're aiming at them?
I think
I
have
do
a
it on
goal.
purpose.
Yeah, people are going to troll them.
No,
like,
we
wait.
totally have to do this
Or-
on one of our games. You realize this?
Yeah, it's just, I don't know. There's so many things that can knock you around that happen very quickly. I don't know. I think that this is it's a dicey challenge, and I understand what they're trying to do. It's high risk, high reward, right? So
Yep. Yeah.
We'll see.
We'll see how it plays out. I'm going to play with it. I want to try it. I want to see how I can do with it, and then I'll be able to come back and tell you.
I think the surprise for today, the real surprise for me, was the Rhaegar changes.
I was not expecting all the big Rhaegar changes, and it was a ton.
Rhaegar was completely reworked. His is almost as long as Nova's, if not actually longer.
Yeah, he's a completely new hero too.
He pretty much is, and he really needed it.
He did.
He did. He was in a sour spot for real.
Bloodlust.
so good.
Bloodlust is worth taking now.
That's right. I know,
Is it
that's
is it worth
great.
taking at 10 or is it worth taking because of the 20 talent? I didn't. Did they change it at level 10?
I believe it's just a 20 upgrade.
Okay.
Basically, what they did is each ally is affected by bloodlust now heals for 30% of their basic attack damage dealt to their primary target.
Wow.
That is
yeah.
big. I mean, because now it's a healing talent too.
Yeah.
And if anything, it might even be better than ancestral healing, depending on who you have on your and what your other team is playing.
Or
Like,
who's playing.
Yeah.
Yes.
If your team is heavy AA, it'd be really really good.
it's also just an easier one to use, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
just
this
give-
isn't.
Everybody bunch up, hug the dog.
Yeah, hug dog, and then just a rawr, you know. And speaking of rawr, he got barrel lunge baseline. This tickled me completely because I used to play the puppy Rhaegar build
Right.
because it can secure kills. It's fun. I mean, more than anything,
It's so much fun.
it's so much fun to play because you get to constantly shift in and out of the puppy build. You do a surprising amount of like tiny burst damage, and before Lunara was a thing, he was the person that could run down and secure a kill. That's awesome.
Yeah, he had huge chase down potential. It was
Yes,
crazy.
it was awesome. Yeah, and now it's just baseline. They also buffed his totem and they buffed his shield. So
Yeah. They've done a lot to him. There's a definitive lightning shield set of talents now. Like he's got a
Apparently it
very
does.
definitive build.
right, and apparently it's quite good. It does actually a significant amount of damage. Not only that, but he can duel. That's messed up.
yeah,
that's crazy.
That's scary. And the other thing that they did is they added a Earth Living enchant to level 13. And what this does is when Chain Heal heals a hero that is under 50% health, they are also healed for an additional amount, essentially. They get like an extra heal if you're... So right when you need it, he gets a burst heal.
That's nice. He needs that.
And it's actually
Yeah.
an AoE burst heal. So if your entire team is low, it's going to give you a big burst heal.
But if every one of them is under 50%.
Right.
This is all good just because like Rhaegar seemed like he was picked for chain heal and his ult.
He was very much a heal bot. He was like,
Yeah.
Q.
And then
pull.
the other abilities were just kind of like wet paper napkin. Like just had so little impact. Like lightning shield, you can hardly tell when it's on.
Yeah.
The totem is so forgettable because so much AOE just clears it,
Well, they increased the initial slow on that.
which is good.
Yeah, they did. They also buffed Earth Shield, I believe.
You mean lightning shield?
No, Earth Shield. He has an Earth Shield talent.
Let me look through here really fast.
I'm pretty sure that they also gave
Earth
a
Shield
buff.
was moved from 7 to 13, and target now gains a shield equal to 15% of their maximum health instead of a flat value. So that's also, yeah, so like against on Stitches or on Cho'Gall, for God's sake, that's messed up. Yeah, that's ridiculous.
So because that talent was a joke. Like you never took.
I
Earth
I
Shield.
didn't even know what that was. I was like, I don't think that's a thing. I was like, and I played a lot of Rhaegar. I'm really excited about this. It really made it very exciting to play him. The only thing, they actually nerfed ancestral healing a little bit from 70 to 80 seconds. It's not
Yeah.
that much.
It's not that big a deal.
The other thing that they
honestly.
changed, and this is the thing that's unique to Rhaegar, is they changed his battle momentum, what used to be called forward momentum.
Mhm.
And now it is, one moment, let me...
It's on his puppy build now. It's on his puppy form.
Yes, Blood and Thunder, that's right. So, new talent at level 7. Basic attacks in Ghost Wolf form reduce basic ability cooldowns by 2 seconds. Actually, I don't know if I like this. This is not nearly as good as his original. Because what his original used to do, forward momentum, it was just like battle momentum, but it took off 1 second from basic ability cooldowns. And for those of you who don't know, battle momentum takes off a half a second off all ability cooldowns, including your ultimate, which is why Tyrande is awesome with battle momentum. So this would not make his heroic cooldown faster, but everything else, when he was just in normal melee form, would cool down a lot faster. The problem is you can only change into ghost form once every 4 seconds, so I don't really know if this is going to make a huge difference.
It's
It's
So-
kind of like a crummy baseline.
Yeah.
It's also going to reduce the cooldown on Ghost Wolf form. Because it's a basic ability. So you should be able to shift in and out quicker and easier as well.
Back and forth, back and forth.
Yeah.
Well,
we'll see how that
consider
works.
that. We'll have to see. We'll have to play
Yeah.
around
You
with it.
should be able to, that should work that way. I expect it to.
In any event, New Rigger sounds like an improvement over current Rigger.
Absolutely.
A huge improvement. He sounds like a way more exciting hero to play, and I love that. I really love that. So I think we're really just down to Li Ming.
Hold on. There's something super important. Tower damage.
Oh, that's true. I did
They
skip over
hurt.
that.
Oh my god, do they hurt?
So they've increased tower damage to players by 50%, which is whopping.
To put this into perspective, at level 13, I got killed by 4 bullets.
Good.
On Nova.
Good.
Good.
I got fucked up. It was
Yeah.
so bad.
This is exactly what we were complaining about recently, and about towers not being threatening enough in this game. And this is exactly what needed to happen.
Absolutely.
It'll make you
gonna
think
shut
twice.
down. Yeah, it'll shut down early game pressure so much, and that early game advantage of just blowing down someone's middle lane immediately.
Yeah, that's the only thing I didn't really get a chance to try on the PTR yet in regards to towers. But
I mean, it's not like their health went up or anything. It's just the damage.
and that's fine. That's what they need.
I think that this is also a like sideways buff to Sylvanas, which a lot of these kind of things, every time they do something to towers like this, it is like a sideways buff to Sylvanas, just because she can turn it off, and that's
Go to
huge.
town.
That's even huge. Yeah, exactly. So that you're right. That's a huge change, and be careful out there, my friends. Those things are very dangerous.
They hurt so bad.
They'll light you up.
They'll light you up. So yeah, so let's talk about Li Ming. I actually rushed home today to just pick her up, get that Sailor Moon costume on, and start messing around with Li Ming. She is so much fun. She is so much fun, but she's hard.
She's very fun to watch. She's also basically a wet napkin when it comes to health.
Yeah, at level 20, she has about 2,000 health. That's messed up. That is
That's like
paper
nothing.
thin. Yes, that is super duper paper thin. So
And is that with the talent or without? That sacrifices her life for damage.
actually, I don't know. I don't remember. That was without the talent because I was playing the teleport build when you guys came in, right? Right, which I was that's without the talent. So you would actually have less than 2,000 health if you took the glass cannon. So it is apropos that it is called
Absolutely.
glass cannon. Glass cannon is a talent that increases your ability power by 15% at the cost of health decrease by 15%.
It's a dangerous talent.
The one thing I wonder, so she has a ton of ability power talents. Do they all stack, and how are they calculated?
They stack in some way, but I don't know if they're going to be additive or multiplicative.
I believe that they're additive. I believe that you have like
And-
a base, and then you have a bonus. It's kind of what it sounds like. So it adds to that bonus.
Yeah, it's
It's not clear, but
no, it's not clear, and every hero, as far as I can tell, is different.
Really?
In the way those bonuses add up.
it almost doesn't make sense for her to be multiplicative. It'd be too much. Like, it would be too much. Although I would love to see somebody take every single talent that buffs her ability damage and see what happens. Because I believe, just off the top of my head, you can get 10 from the level 1 talent. So you'll run over a healing globe, and then you'll get 10% right there. You can take the glass cannon talent, which will give you another 15. And then at level 20, you can take a talent that gives you 20% ability damage, as long as you don't use the same ability twice in a row. So you're looking at 45%. That is nuts. Like,
She already does a lot of damage.
yes.
She's exploding. She hurts.
Right. She, as far as I can tell, she has about 3 different builds. So we can go ahead and talk about this real quick. She has a pretty clear W build, which is based off her Arcane Orb. Arcane Orb is a little bit tricky. I highly recommend you play some AI games to kind of get used to this, especially if you're going to take this build, because it requires you to be good at aiming it, and it travels slow, so that's important. And you have to be good at judging how far away somebody is, because they have to it has to travel at least 80% of the base length of the spell in order for it to do the maximum amount of damage. So
And it still has to hit them. So
yes, and it still has to hit them, exactly. So again, you have to be really good at aiming. The biggest challenge to this is that it goes a lot slower than you think it does.
yeah, that was the biggest thing when I was watching Bearcat play. Is that it would go, and then people would just walk away from it.
Right.
Like just sidestep it. So
It takes a lot of prediction and to kind of, understand that. There is almost like an auto attack build, and it's based off of mostly a magic missile. It's like a missile build, but your auto attacks are buffed right after you missile, essentially, and it gives both a debuff to your target and a buff to you. Is kind of how it works. So that one seems pretty fun. I really liked the way. I thought it was gonna be really, really strange to aim the missiles. The missiles, for you who don't know, there's 3 of them, and their trajectories can be changed based off of where you have your mouse in front of you. If you have it further away, they basically come down to a point. If you have it closer to you, they kind of spread out. That's interesting. We'll see kind of how that. I had the most luck, honestly, just aiming them at somebody. But again, the further they are the way, the more likely they can step out of it. So you have to be kind of predictable, or sorry, you have to be more predictive. You have to kind of predict where they're going to go, or you need to be a little bit crazier with where you're going to send your missile by not sending it directly at them, by sending it, by clicking on them essentially. And the last build, which I was really excited for, but I'm having trouble pulling off, and it's probably just my skill level, but is a teleport build. This build operates where you, until level 13, you're kind of just darting in and out. Your teleport becomes free, and it's lowered by, the cooldown is lowered by 2 seconds. So you basically can teleport every 3 seconds so long as you have never taken damage. At level 13, every time you teleport, you can also, you do damage in an area around where you land. So it's all about getting in and finishing off a bunch of people, or even one person, and then teleporting immediately and just keep on over and over and over teleporting in and out. This is a really fun build, and it also offers her a shield that is almost constantly refreshing if you keep your teleport up. So it's again, it's a high risk, high reward kind of situation.
Very cool.
It's fun. It's really, really fun.
I like the idea of her teleport being the short cooldown. It's not quite as far as Bolt, so
It's actually really short. It
you're not
looked
going
longer.
very far.
It looked way longer to me on streams and stuff like that. But when you play her, you're like, oh no, that does not go very far at all.
No.
And you even get a talent that can increase it by 50%. It's not.
Yeah, you're not gonna like jump around like you could with Bolt. But I like the idea of a hero that is extremely, extremely mobile all over the battlefield, just causing fucking chaos. And
Well,
that
she needs
seems
it.
like what she does.
Yeah.
Just from watching.
Really, she's all about just not getting caught. Like, it's not so much, because it's not going to get you out of trouble, really. That's
Oh, no.
really the one thing I noticed about her, is that this teleport's not going to get you much out of trouble. You might get one chance to get out of trouble with it. Maybe if a Leoric drops an entomb on you, okay, yeah, you can get out of that. But if the thing is that you don't go far enough for it to make a huge difference, that if somebody's right there next to you, you're like, well, I'm just going to step out of one bear trap and right into another. That kind of sucks. So you kind of really have to focus on just not getting caught and keeping it further away.
Yeah.
Which is why I think that Poke W build will be really popular, the most popular, because it's probably the most safe way to play, even if it is a somewhat difficult way to play. She's a hard hero, so.
I'm excited. I want to see her on live and see.
I want to see pros. I really want to see pros player. That's really what the one thing I want to see so badly, because I want to see her in somebody's more capable hands. Like, what can she do? And not only that, but what can I try to shoot to learn how to do? Like, what combos? She reminds me a lot of Ahri in League of Legends. Ahri is kind of like this, where she blinks in and out. She's a Fox Girl character that can kind of blink around and jump in, perform a combo, and jump out. That's kind of what she does. And so,
Queen of Pain is that in Dota.
yeah. So,
Every game has one, apparently.
well, I mean, it's a popular archetype, right? You're talking about a high damage mage, a very high damage mage that's also paper thin.
She does a lot of damage, and I like that. And she's very mobile, which is cool. Still, the only thing that kind of bugs me about her is like 0 CC, especially being as fragile
Yes.
as she is.
Yeah.
No slows, no. I mean, she has that one disruption ability if you talent it for her Arcana Orb. Because I'm trying to think, the reason part of the reason why Kael'thas and Jaina are so popular, aside from dealing a lot of damage, is they also have decent CC potential too. Kael with the gravity lapse, Jaina with
Chilled.
everything.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So that I think she has potential, but I don't know how much of an impact we'll see immediately. We'll have to see.
I think that. Go ahead.
I was going to say she's got her ult at level 10, the Weight of Force,
That is
which
true.
is a knockback. I don't know what the range is like on it.
The range is actually very good, and if you take the upgrade, it's astronomical.
The entire screen.
Yes, it's almost like a ranged face melt from ETC is kind of what it does, and it's huge. Like, if you take the upgrade, honestly, I thought, okay, it's a kind of a silly thing. I'm playing an AI game. Let's just try. I want to know what this does. Usually, I take the ability power upgrade, but I took it and I was just like, whoa, I can perform. Literally, I honestly think I could have performed it in top lane from mid lane in 2-minute Spider Queen. That is how freaking huge it was. Like,
That's crazy.
That
That's
is
a huge
insane.
range.
You could use it to spot out somebody, because again, the cooldown's so low, and her cooldowns have the potential for them to be reset so easily that it's not really a big deal for you to use it to. I used it to clear creeps. I was like, what else am I gonna do? Honestly, I did think that her wave clear was actually pretty poor. I mean, it's okay, but like I said, those other two mages wave clear way more efficiently and better than she does.
It's just her abilities are on contact explosions.
Yeah,
instead
exactly.
Of being like targeted spots.
Right.
the
So
other two
like,
are.
for example, like hitting the back of a wave of minions is like impossible with either one of her abilities. As far as I could tell, it almost is impossible. You have to kill the front ones and to get to the back ones. And that, you know, when I personally clear, I try to clear the back ones more because they do more damage to your minions. So the back ones and the back ones and the mage tend to be the first ones to go for me. I try to leave the melee ones.
There's some strategy around that.
Yeah, it's a little bit. I mean, it's not huge, but it's something. And I definitely try to at least get the orb every single time, you know, and I keep on moving, especially on her, because I tried taking that one talent where you get 100% extra mana from orbs, and it grants you, like I said, ability power for 20 seconds, which is huge. It's a long time. Like
You can get an orb and then go fuck somebody up.
well, you can basically run up, grab the orb, and then advance and start harassing somebody, and they're like, do a surprise amount of damage. Like, oh crap! Like, okay, she's coming for me. I gotta go. And if not that, you can shoot a tower from very far away. So that's the other thing too, is that she can run up, shoot the tower, and blink out, and she won't even really get hit by the tower. I didn't think I ever got hit by a tower. I think that it's actually long enough range, that arcane orb, that you can hit it. So
The range on that looked like it was very long.
it's very long.
The range is decently long in the missiles too.
Yes.
It's not going to do much to it.
Oh, it's actually super long. Yeah, it just doesn't do very much, right? It's a nice little like, that hurts, but. So that's more or less it for Li Ming. I think that I'm going to be looking at a ton of streams and trying to get better with her, but it's going to take some time. As far as like, again, meta, the one thing I think is going to happen, first of all, I don't think that Blizzard's going to be introducing any stuns anytime soon. They're not. They already have so many, and actually I think they're going to start removing stuns, which is something I read recently. I think Browder said that they're looking at taking away stuns from characters who don't need it, which is a really scary thought, because who are they going to take it away from? I think Raynor is going to get it taken away, frankly.
He might. He's one that people tend to go, why does he have that? He doesn't need it. It's not necessary.
He's really strong. Like,
I would agree.
and he
He's
already
super
pushes
strong.
you back. Like, I mean,
Yeah,
it does seem a little bit like, whoa.
it is weird for sure to knock you back and then stun you.
And then take a
still
double
be
stun.
inside his range.
Yes.
Because his range is nuts. I think that I've seen as well that they're wanting to introduce more disruption stuff, like the Wave of Force. Stuff that just knocks people around, puts them out of position. I believe that I saw them mention something like that instead of going with stuns.
Right, which is, I think, again, like why they introduced this Wave of Force thing. So because of that, I think it's going to be, when you see teams with her on it, she'll be a last pick, because she can easily be taken out by, God, even a new Nova could probably freaking snipe her if she's not moving around constantly. A good Nova could probably take her out pretty easily.
I wonder how squishy she is at level 1.
And honestly, Lunara effed me up as her, because she can get to me, and then she puts DOTs on me, and
then she makes you slow.
And then she makes me slow, and it's just her DOTs do so much damage now that, I mean, they're not a huge amount of damage, but for a squishy character like her with no heal, you're like, oh my god, I'm going to die, period. There's nothing I can do about this.
Yeah, the 9-second dot on you was...
It was like almost my entire health
gross.
bar. Yeah, it was almost... Yeah.
Horrible. It was the biggest amount of a health bar I've seen on any hero with their poisons.
Right, and since again she has that Thornwood Vine, she can get to the back line so easily. Like, if I want to get even in range to shoot her with something, you just can't. Like, so I think that she actually might be a counter. I think like somebody like Greymane, somebody who blows gaps. Another person, and we actually didn't talk about this, but Zeratul Shadow Assault got buffed. Significantly buffed. We're talking down from 100-second cooldown to a 45-second cooldown.
He got some buffs all across the board.
That's crazy.
For just his auto attack damage. A lot of it came in Shadow Assault. It doesn't last as long, but it hits harder. You can use it more often.
Because even if she blinks away, he's just going to be right on her again. Like there's, and she's going to die like in one rotation, and then delete. He's basically just going to. I'm going to hit my ult and right click her and delete her. That's really what's going to happen, and that sucks.
Did they adjust the range on Shadow Assault?
I don't know offhand, actually.
Yeah, because it's got...
Either way, I mean...
It's got kind of a crappy range to initiate it. Like, it kind of sucks.
Right, but he's a stealth character.
Right.
So, I mean, he's a stealth character
With a blink.
With a blink, yeah. So even if he's coming at her, he could like blink behind her, hit her, and then wormhole back out.
You'll see some DBZ fights of just people blinking around.
Yeah. Just like, come back in 10 years.
Oh my god. It's true though. It's so true.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, and so I think that there's some really good counters out there for her, but in capable hands, I think she's exciting. I think that's the thing I like about her the most, that she has the potential for incredible, the dream type plays, and I hope that we see her. I hope that she can shake up the meta. She feels very strong.
Yeah, she does. Just looking at her and watching her play, I think she has the potential to be crazy good and everything in somebody's hands. Good, capable hands.
Not mine
Anyway,
right now. Not mine. Yeah.
Definitely not
I need
mine.
to run some tri-mode drills. If you've never checked it out, you should check out Fan from C9, I believe. But he has some tri-mode drills, exercises that you can do to kind of warm up. And you should definitely check those out if you've never checked them
They'll
out.
blow your fucking mind.
They do blow your mind. He has one where he does a drill with Sylvanas, which is essentially he shoots a haunting wave behind him, and then he bolts in towards a target. He envenoms them. I think he hits
Dagger.
a Q and hits the dagger.
2 Qs.
And then, is it 2 Qs?
It's 2 Qs.
It's 2 Qs, and then also silences the target with his black arrow, and then goes back into the haunting wave to the other side of the lane. All within one, yes. And it almost kills Arthas in one go. And he does it so fast, it's like, whoa. He's like, I just do this to warm up. You're like, what? I can't do that on my best day. Could you imagine, like,
No.
seeing that? Could you? First of all, that's like the dream, right? Again, for him. Like, could you imagine seeing that in a game? That would, like, blow your mind.
No,
like,
if that happened to me in quick match, I might just,
I would delete the
exit.
video game. Yeah, I would delete it.
Return to GameStop.
Yeah, I would like I would go to Target. I'd be like, I would like my $20. I would give him my Ronin skin.
Just slide it across the counter.
Excuse me. I don't
No,
want
yeah,
this.
I would just stop and I would go outside. Like, this is what sunlight is like. I forgot.
So pretty much, that's my little homework for this week. You guys can check that out. So, man, it's a big week. We had a lot to talk about.
Yeah,
So
This was big. I loved it. And
Yeah.
there's still so much more in the notes. You guys have to go check them out.
yeah, so we'll definitely link them in the show notes. And I didn't actually get to talk about my support stuff today, which is unfortunate. But I will have it for you next week, so long as we don't have another giant patch. I don't think so. We've already talked about leaving ad nauseum, so I don't think we need to really go over it too much.
And you guys can check everything else out on the PTR.
Right.
Go see for yourself.
Right, you should definitely check it out. I think that it's fun. It's a lot of fun. And if you
It is
buy her
fun.
on PTR, you get her in the Americas, so don't worry about that. Don't
Yeah.
freak out.
It's not wasting money. You can
Yes.
buy her and have a good time, and you'll still have her when she goes live.
Mm-hmm.
So it's fine.
So go check out the PTR notes and have a great time in the Nexus this week. It's you asked for boys balance changes.
It's about time.
It's about damn time. And next week we'll have that support segment and whatever else comes our way in the Nexus. Oh, wait, I have one more thing. We are actually doing a giveaway.
Yes.
Thank you for
Hooray!
sticking. Yes, since our 10th episode is next week, we're going to be doing a giveaway next week. You can win a Heroes of the Storm t-shirt from the Blizzard store. We are going to be running the competition, it's more of a sweepstake, I should say, on Twitter. And so you're going to have to follow us, retweet us, and you'll be automatically entered in to win the t-shirt. We'll be announcing the winner on our stream on Tuesday. You don't have to be present to win, but we'd really like it if you were there because it's fun. And then we'll also announce it on the podcast next week for our episode number 10. I will get out we will get out that tweet probably tonight or tomorrow morning, and you can look out for that and retweet us, share us with other people, just help us out and get people listening to us. We really appreciate you listening to us, and we really wanted to show our appreciation for you sticking with us.
Thank you.
You've been with us for 10 weeks through the holidays. You guys deserve something too.
Listening to us drone on about stuff we care about. Hopefully you care about
We
too.
don't even play this game.
We don't even play this video game. I just read about it on Reddit. Thank you for listening to us. You can find us on Twitter at Dirty Casual Show, and you can also find us on Blogspot at dirtycasualshow.blogspot.com. We're on Twitter, iTunes, and Stitcher.
There you
and
go.
Yes, we're on iTunes and Stitcher, and also Podbean. You can look for us on Dirty Casual, and you can also check out our YouTube channel. Just go ahead and search for Dirty Casual on YouTube.
Have a great week.
Yeah.
This show is part of the Frozen Fox Radio Network. Be sure to follow us on Twitter at Frozen Fox Radio. Also, visit us at frozenfoxradio.com for information about this and all of our other shows. Frozen Fox Radio, cool things for you to listen to.